Hi everyone, this is Greg from Brighton to Brighton Atlantic Railway, and today I'm going to introduce you our guest, the light green boxcar from New York Central Railroad system. That's where this special guest came from, without even being branded. Don't worry, we'll brand it and we'll place some ads on it. But before, let me tell you about the New York Central Railroad, where this car came from. New York Central Railroad operated from 1853 to 1968, according to Wikipedia. The main routes of this railroad connected New York and Boston area in the east with Chicago and St. Louis area in Midwest USA. Key intermediate city: Albany, the capital of the state of New York, Buffalo, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Detroit, Rochester, and Syracuse. And there was also trackage in several states and parts of Ontario and Quebec, which are parts of Canada. What was the size of New York Central Railroad? In 1925, the railroad operated 11,584 miles of road, 26,395 miles of tracks, and by 1967 both of the figures reduced. The road was reduced to 9,696 miles and track was reduced to 18,454 miles. The New York City Central Railroad, abbreviated as NYC, was an American railway company headquartered in New York City. The company was founded by Erastus Corning in 1853 through the merger of 10 railroads, and it existed until 1968. Its main destinations were Chicago and Boston. In 1867, Cornelius Vanderbilt took control of the company. In 1869, the company was further enlarged by integrating additionally previous independent lines. The routes of New York Central followed river valleys wherever it's possible, so that hardly any major train obstacle had to be overcome. This also influenced the design of the company's steam locomotives, which were consistently built for flattened operation at high speed. With the locomotive classes like L, Mohawk, J, Hudson, and S, Niagara, the New York Central gave its name to several locomotive types in North America. Later on, despite the modern steam fleet, the New York Central quickly and comprehensively switched to diesel locomotives after the World War II. Even so, the decline of New York Central could not be halted, and the Vanderbilt family gradually withdrew from the railroad business. Robert Ralph Young, via Allegheny Corporation, took the control of the company but was unable to achieve his goals. In 1958, no dividend could be paid for the first time. Finally, in 1968, the company merged with the Pennsylvania Railroad to form Penn Central. This information comes from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Everyone can edit and everyone can read it. It's distributed under the Creative Commons license version 4. What else is important to know about the railroad? Our hero of occasion comes from Penn Central declared bankruptcy in June 1970. Amtrak was formed in 1971 to take over intercity passenger service in America. Penn Central continued freight and commuter service. In 1976, Penn Central and other bankrupt railroads were folded into Conrail. By 1983, regional commuter agencies MTA Metro North, MBTA in Boston assumed passenger operations. In 1998, Conrail was split between Norfolk Southern and CSX Transportation. CSX operates many former New York Central lines today, including much of the water level route. Water level route, I guess, lays through entire state of New York. First it follows Hudson, as you see on the pictures, and then it follows valleys of multiple rivers, as I told. And then the railroad continues west to Chicago, following two at least lakes. Famous trains. The most famous was the 20th Century Limited. It operated from 1902 till 1967. New York-Chicago luxury train. Streamlined by Henry Dreyfuss in 1938, featuring sleepers, dining, barbershop, secretary, and signature observation car. Then Lakeshore Limited links Chicago with Boston and New York Valley Albany, largely along Great Lakes. Today, Amtrak still operates this train under same name and under same condition that part of the cars run to and from New York and part of them run to and from Boston. In Albany, they come together as the same consist, and this is the way it travels to Chicago and from Chicago. I'm sure you love the music which you hear on the background of the video, and this wonderful music was dedicated namely to the impressions of the train called Lakeshore Limited, which travels between New York and Chicago even today. Our friend Victoria Lisina came up with the idea to write this music just when she recalled the trip on this train. And this is the story of the soundtrack you hear on the background. So, New York Central Railway and everything nowadays operators like Amtrak took after it is not only going places, is not only transporting freight and people from point to point on the route. The legacy of New York Central Railroad gives musical inspiration to passengers and their families. Not only Victoria with her music, but also your humble narrator made a lot of these pictures and uses them for slideshow. I write music myself, not only about these trains. It gives me inspiration to make creative approach what's actually a goal of Brighton to Brighton Atlantic Railway. As you mentioned, this consist has also a circus boxcar, and in one of the next videos I will tell you more about the circus. It advertises, or actually it carries the history of that circus train. So stay tuned for more videos, subscribe and like my videos, and always keep in mind, our trains are not just toys are not just models. Our trains are advertising space for your business, for your arts, for your everything. So just stay tuned for next video. We are attracting people found in every place. Brighton to Brighton Railroad, your advertising space. Brighton to Brighton Railroad, your advertising space. I am not just a toy train, I am a moving billboard.